disrespect by mere virtue of you not knowing who you are. You're disrespecting yourself.
That's true.
And being in a serious relationship, being exclusive to one another,
Yeah.
and having kids. For me, it is very important for me to pick a partner wisely, a partner that I'm going to have kids with.
Yes.
A lot of the times I think about, does this person understand that once me and him have a kid, it's a long-term relationship. It doesn't matter how
You
we
relate
go.
to each other.
Hello, hi, Dumelang Ditsala, and welcome to the Unheard podcast. I'm your host with the most ISA, golden child to some, and I'm not alone. I'm with the one and only, the amazing, the ultimate co-host.
It's your girl, Tina Wagandebele, as Kulumeni Arbuek. Let's talk.
Yes, sir. And today, guys, we just thought to ourselves that we should start with a topic that's pertaining to all of us, right? This topic is going to be relevant in your life.
All our topics are relevant.
Yeah, true. So
Yeah.
today's topic, but before that, highlight of the week. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. How are you?
No. I feel like you're just giving me an impromptu answer. Yeah, no.
Sometimes we just need to keep it simple. I'm good.
Yeah.
And there's nothing more to it. I can say.
Well, I'm alive and kicking. I'm fine.
Exactly. See?
So,
But if you do have a highlight, please enlighten us.
Get la share maybe next week or something.
We try.
So, guys, without further ado, let's dive into today's topic being self-worth. Knowing your self-worth. I think while self-worth and the self-esteem again, the self-love, we can't talk about all these topics without them
Being
relating.
interrelated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're interrelated. So self-worth, I feel like it's distinct from self-esteem, right? So for me, self-worth is about feeling inherently valuable to basically exist,
Yeah.
right? You love life. You're content with being alive.
Yes.
Yeah. And then self-esteem, I think we can just, it's often tied to accolades,
Yeah.
your achievements, external validation.
So we can call them confidence boosters.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then self-love. I think self-love goes deep to your roots.
It goes a long way.
Yeah. Your childhood experiences, past relationships, your upbringing, things that shape your sense of worth and belonging. And that's what we're going to get into today.
Definitely.
Yeah. So for you, what do you feel like self-worth is? And
Self-worth. Okay,
Yeah.
so I think for me, I'm going to take a different turn. I asked a couple of friends
Yeah.
to tell me what they think self-worth is in their own personal definitions.
Yeah.
So a friend of mine called Tepi shared her definition.
Okay.
And she says, knowing your self-worth is being at peace with the choices you make in order not to please anyone, regardless what they say. The fact that you made a right choice and you're at peace with it, it becomes worth a while. Sometimes knowing your self-worth is understanding that at some point, not everything you do should please anyone and everyone around you.
True.
So for me, how she answered it is simple and straightforward.
Yeah.
It's literally defining your values, defining your morals, defining who you are, and going by that. If Isa was to come to me and tell me, Martina, I feel your dress code is not giving all the time, that's on you, but I have set a definition for me and I will go by it because I know my worth, I know my value, and that self-love you were talking about, that self-esteem, those boosters have taught me, regardless of the external factors, the external comments that may come my way, I am content with life. I am content with who I am, and my self-worth cannot be defined by whoever but just me.
True.
So
I
to me,
think
that's it.
as we talk about this topic, I think let's explore some of the struggles that we go through with low self-worth. I think
Yeah.
factors like upbringing, where a lot of African parents, sorry, African parents.
But we're African, so we're talking about what we know, first-hand experience.
Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Teenage pregnancy na kids, guys. Anyway, African parents, right? African parents never apologize.
Hardly.
They hardly ever apologize.
Oh.
So I think that may also point out insecurities, and they can deeply impact us.
Our thoughts and feelings.
Yeah, you're left up feeling unloved by parents.
Teenage pregnancy. What do you mean? You're a teen. Is that what you're saying?
Hey, I'm not a teenager.
We are somewhere. We are somewhere. Either middle, high, low. We are somewhere in between.
No, actually, you were saying that we are soon to be parents. Hey, not teenage pregnancy. I'm still young.
You'll figure it out.
You'll figure it out. I'm still young. They know what I'm talking about. Yeah. So, yeah, I feel like you may feel unloved because you feel unheard at home. You feel like your parents never apologized. They never validated you. Another thing is parents never say, I love you.
Yeah, that's
if your parents do and they're African, kudos to those parents. But half of the time, there's no good morning, how are you? We don't do those things. How was your day? Yeah, no.
It's very rare. Then when you talk about being unheard and also connecting it to self-worth, self-love, self-value, it's a very valid point because so often than now, we find parents maybe having arguments with their children or arguments just within the family. And then or siblings, we can argue as siblings. And then where a parent has to intervene, it's like there's no balance to say, you are both my kids, I understand. But there needs to get to a point where parents, there should be that tough love. Tough love to say, if I'm disciplining the both of you, the discipline has to show, I am not favoring one over the other. But I'm trying to instill a sense of love for both of you by disciplining you the same way and making sure that in disciplining the both of you, all of you are heard. First and foremost, your feelings are acknowledged, your voice is heard, and a solution is put forward that favors the both of you.
That's
because
true.
I've noticed, I have a younger sibling. She sometimes says, I feel like they hear you more than me because I'm younger. You know? Yeah. So I tell her that...
Firstborn.
Yeah, I'm the firstborn. So I tell her that it's not that they don't hear you. They hear you and they do act. Sometimes I take a step back just for her to feel heard, for her to feel the love. Because yes, I'm older and I see where she's coming from sometimes, because I may have conversations that are more deep and strong with my mom because I'm old, and then with her she's younger and she cannot have those certain conversations, so maybe she feels unheard or not included. But she is, in her own way, she accommodates her at the age level and the mental level. I want you to understand me in this level and your sister will understand me at that level. But when we're together seated, I will say things that at the level for the both of you.
Yes.
So it's like it's not that you're not heard. You are heard and you are loved. So parents need to find that balance to say different age groups within your children, cater for them.
True.
Differently.
I think also it speaks to a lot of the times you'd find that if there's the middle child, firstborn, and the lastborn.
Yeah.
There's always that one who is said to be the favorite child. And it's not like that.
It's not.
It's not like that. I think the favoritism is that a parent would look at their kids and say, this kid is confident. This one is lacking here. Let me try and focus and put more attention on this second or third born.
To try and boost
them so that the firstborn is fine. So that when I'm not there, they're able to level up.
That's true.
Yeah, I think, speak on favoritism, I think that's what I would say about it. That it's not always about being favored or being a favorite child.
Because most parents really do try. And in this generation, what I've seen, they do try to balance that, to show that kids love equally.
True.
It's tough. Like you're saying, we can be 5 in a home and your mom or your dad has to make sure that I show you love equally.
Yeah.
Lily 5 yalo. It's tough for
and
a parent
also,
to show up for all of you at the same time.
Yeah,
but in different ways and at different times, they will show up.
Yeah.
And when they do also, that boosts our self-worth. That boosts our confidence. Like right now, if your parent was to come to you and sit you down and say, Manaka, you know what, I love you. They never say that. It makes you feel so happy. You're like, wow, I've not heard that in a long time. So parents,
Yeah.
please do make sure once in a while you check in, you check up, you
Validate your
show up.
kids.
Yes, because the validation they get out there, it's a naivety trap. They are trapped into believing
True.
that when someone tells me they love me, they love me. But in
Yeah.
actual fact, it's people who want something from us out there, not
Out
that they
there,
love us.
yes.
So let them know within the household that they are loved, they are valued, and they are heard.
Yeah. I think another thing, speaking on parents, there are situations where a parent can give birth to you, but they are not ready to be parents.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
think as you grow up, some are victims of rape, some are not.
Unfortunately.
As you grow up, just make sure that you get to find out what love is, what love means to you, for you, and how it can benefit you. Then you begin to appreciate yourself. I think a lot of us have insecurities, we have imposter syndromes, you know.
Comparison.
Yeah, a lot of us have those, which is, for me, I feel like I used to struggle with compliments. I don't receive compliments well. If you
Yeah.
tell me that, hey, your outfit is
You're like,
dapper,
oh, okay.
I don't say that. No, you're lying. I just don't know how to embrace that someone has complimented my style.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what do you struggle with?
I don't think I can put a finger on what I struggle with. So the main thing I think I struggle with and on my end is
Yeah.
letting my feelings and emotions being known to friends or family.
Is that when you're going through something?
Yeah, it's when I'm going through something.
Okay.
So it's like how it affects my self-worth. I become low. Also my esteem becomes low because I'm thinking if I'm going through something so emotional and deep to me, how is the next person going to receive what I'm going through? Are they going to mock me? Are they going to relate? Or are they going to actually help me? So I
Yeah.
think maybe it's a common problem people go through to say, I'm struggling.
True.
But if I tell the next person and they don't receive the information well, it's probably going to make me even worse. So should I
Yeah.
then just keep it to myself, feel down, and I'll uplift myself however I can whenever I do, you know? Because, yeah.
True. I think another thing with that is that when someone has heard your problems, the advice may not be necessarily helpful.
Yeah, it may not be what I want to hear.
Yes.
Also, that's another problem. We expect people to tell us what we want to
Yes.
hear and not what we need
Especially
to
through
hear.
our times of need.
Tough times. I want you to tell me it's gonna be okay, but
Yeah.
of course it's not necessarily gonna
What
be
I see,
okay.
money.
Exactly.
I think another issue that sparks a lot of low self-worth would be financial issues.
That's true.
Yeah, a lot of times, I think in Botswana, or rather in Africa, most African countries, but Botswana more especially,
Yeah.
go na le first class, go na le second class,
And the third.
go na le second class. I'm not joking. That middle class is
in between.
Yes, and then the lower class, and then another, because we have this lifestyle that we want to
Keep
uphold.
up and just show to the public.
And it's not good. Dikoloi, you don't live in your car. You are not that car. But
That's
because
true.
now a car is currency, once you can't afford it, you find yourself that.
Feeling low.
I think also we can talk about self-worth in terms of sickness.
That's, yeah. That one.
A lot of the
cuts deep.
times when you're sick,
You feel low.
Yeah.
You feel the self-love disappears.
Yeah.
Slowly.
Even if you try and look inward, it's just like, hey man, why me?
It can even be a small sick. What just being sick in general is something that puts you down.
Yeah.
It can be you, it can be a family member, and the chronic illnesses that also affects finances, where someone has to be in hospital not because they want to, but it's a must
It's
for
a
them to be
must,
monitored
yeah.
in the hospital. The finances go with that.
Eish.
The self-worth within the family, within you, who's the one mainly affected, lowers.
I think for me, the worst thing about sickness is some of these sicknesses like cancer. Cancer eats away at a person.
Yeah.
It eats at you every single day.
So imagine when you're being physically eaten away, how that affects your love, your worth, your value, and everything you've set for yourself. It completely, it depletes it.
Yeah.
It finishes you internally and externally. No, it's tough to navigate in that situation. It's tough to cultivate your self-worth in that situation. But I always believe that because we are wonderfully and fearfully made under the image of God, we are worth more than whatever sicknesses attack us. I think not everyone is a believer, but if you truly are a believer, these are the things you can lean back on to say, no one deserves to go through such. But when you are going through it, go back to the word, remind yourself that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, and whatever it is that you're going through, these too shall pass.
That's true. I think that
Absolutely.
speaks to also building and maintaining self-worth. I think it's very important. It's key that you build it, you maintain it.
Yeah.
I think
And you
for
live
me,
it.
and you live it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you should
true.
live it.
For me, it has to be you teach people how to teach you. Yeah. So you set boundaries, and through setting those boundaries, you're respecting yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think what is it for you that what do you use to build and maintain your self-worth?
My self-worth.
Yeah.
I think one thing I've learned is not to compare myself. Comparison kills.
That's
Unless it's
true.
positive comparison.
Yeah.
If I see that a couple of my friends, we are freshly graduates. If I see that a couple of my friends are now employed, I'm very well going to be happy for them. And if I see certain posts that I feel fit them more than me, I will share them
True.
to them to say,
Yeah.
oh, Zala, I've seen this and I feel you'd really, really love to try it out. And if the opportunity comes for them, if it's there for them, I'm going to be happy for them, because for me, that's positive comparison to say, if a friend of mine or friends of mine are blessed in that aspect, which means chances are I'm next in line. Whenever that may be, I am ready to wait for that time for me. So comparison, guys, don't compare yourself to anyone. And they will never be the same.
I think the Setswana saying is "Batho ga re lekane re se meno." Yeah, which basically means that we are not going to be at the same space at the same time.
Different seasons in life.
Yeah.
I
So
believe that.
You believe that? Okay. I think when you're talking about friends, it actually made me think of this quote, which I truly adhere to, which is, it's me versus me.
Yeah.
Because iron sharpens iron. If today I'm not fine, I'm working towards being a better version of myself tomorrow. Comparing with who? Myself.
Yourself.
Iron sharpens iron. So I think if you take it from there, folks, you
goes
should,
a long way.
Yeah. Another thing is self-worth is knowing and respecting and honoring yourself.
Absolutely.
What do I mean by that? A lot of the times we tell ourselves that, okay, fine, I set this goal, hey, New Year's resolution, and then you set a goal. I'm going to wake up every morning at 5 a.m. I'm going to have this morning routine. I'm going to exercise. And then you are the very same person who ends up dishonoring your very same word. You're disrespecting yourself.
I feel like you're talking to me. It's been a couple of years. I've been saying, I'll go to the gym. I'll do this. Yo, guys.
Do it. Honor yourself, because you're building that trust with yourself. And that will reflect in the other relationships with your friends, with church mates, your workmates. Just honor yourself.
That's true, because when you say that, it's like when there was a point in time where I was looking at my physical appearance. I feel like physical appearance also does contribute to one's self-worth if you look at it that way. So I was like, I'm gonna go to the gym, get this kind of body that I want, and it boosts my esteem and worth somehow, in my opinion. So also there are certain individuals out there who would get silly comments from people. I believe that
body shaming and
all that, I believe that when you work on yourself the way you want to work on yourself, and after defining your value in that manner, what people say is not gonna matter. And also, like you're saying, you need to honor every goal you set for yourself. That commitment, commit to it, because you call it a commitment. Hey, do it if you want to cultivate your self-worth.
True. I think in building and maintaining your self-worth, lastly, I'll just like to bring this up and say, we often use the term disrespect, and we often use it pertaining to when someone doesn't speak to you the way you'd like them to speak to you, when someone insults you and you're saying you're disrespecting me.
Yes.
But I feel like we have to know that in this topic of self-worth, disrespect now has a different meaning. What do I mean by that? Disrespect is now a term in self-worth, that means you have to know who you are. So there's this term disrespect.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us, we always use it loosely, and we define it through someone disrespecting you in terms of them insulting you or not speaking to them.
Anything that's provoking or impolite.
True.
Yeah.
But here I have a different meaning, right? Disrespect, by mere virtue of you not knowing who you are, you're disrespecting yourself.
That's true.
Yeah. So I think it's a challenge to all of you out there. Guys, get to know who you are. Define yourself, your morals, your values. Who are you, not what you are. A lot of the times when you ask someone, who are you? They actually tell you what they are. You are not the car you drive.
Or they literally just give you your name. I'm not saying what is your name.
Yes.
Who are you as a person?
Yeah. Half of the time what you guys do is, I am a lawyer. I am a mother. Who are you outside of those titles?
Outside of your career
you
and everything else.
being a parent. Who are you?
Individualize
yourself. Before you're a parent, you are yourself. What do
Yeah.
you like? Comment down below. Who are you? We'll be waiting
This
for
should be
those
an
comments.
interesting one.
Yeah.
We want to know who you are. And don't be afraid to be yourself. Tell it as it is.
Yeah. I think if you don't know how to answer the question, define everything that you're not. You'll know who
Then
you
you'll
are.
know. And also maybe if at all you don't know, I think this is a task for you to take it upon yourself to
Reflect.
say, I want to know who I am. From now on, I want to figure out who I am.
Yeah.
It's just talk.
True.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think we have covered a lot about building your self-worth and maintaining it. I think now we can talk about recognizing, rather, let's just take it to self-worth in relationships.
That's a big one. So self-worth in relationships, we're talking about could be a work relationship, it could be a personal relationship, you and your partner,
Platonic or romantic.
friendship, it can be any kind of relationship. So first of all, you need to define what a relationship is for you, either a work one or platonic or friendship or intimate relationship.
Yeah.
You need to define those relationships before you can know the worth to put to them.
Yeah, I think you have to explore how they impact you, positively or negatively. That will affect your self-worth.
That's
I think
true.
you should remember that you set the price for access. You set the price for how much access people have to you. So choose the relationships that support your well-being, most importantly. I think
Your mental health.
Yeah, mental health. It was very important. We always say, I am the prize. For real, you are the prize.
You are the prize. But in saying you are the prize, show us what makes you the prize. Because you know what makes you the prize.
Yeah.
So it needs to be put out there. It needs to be known so that certain boundaries are not broken and they're not crossed.
Yeah. I think for me, in terms of self-worth in relationships, I take it to romantic relationships.
Okay.
Dating and being in a serious relationship, being exclusive to one another.
Yeah.
And having kids. For me, it is very important for me to pick a partner wisely, a partner that I'm going to have kids with.
Yes.
A lot of the times I think about, does this person understand that once me and him have a kid, it's a long-term relationship. It doesn't matter how
You
we
relate
go
to each other as individuals.
in the long run.
Yeah.
If we happen that we break up in the long run, just know that we have a kid.
And it doesn't have to change how you feel and treat the child.
True.
It has to remain the same consistency.
This kid needs the best version of me every day, the best version of you as a father. So when picking kids, I don't look at, but what no, no, guys, please. Picking kids, please know your self-worth. Yeah.
Okay, so no, in that aspect, relationship wise, I totally get you. I think for me, let me take it to childhood.
Yeah.
You know, when you grow up in a home, you see how maybe your parents are. You can be a single parent. You can be both parents in your life. And also, for you, in Ndebele they say indlela ibuzwa kwabaphambili.
True.
Literal translation, I can say, you ask those who've experienced the journey,
Yeah.
you ask from them
You follow
that.
Yeah.
So it's like when you see people going through certain life situations, you're like, this is what you're learning, this is what you're seeing as a child. You grow up into that situation,
Yeah.
and for you, maybe you're gonna say, this is what's acceptable by society, this is what's right. So when you see a parent maybe accepting certain compliments, gifts, or
Some have 5 kids with different men.
exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, when you see that happening around you, you're gonna think maybe that's what a man or a lady is worth.
Yes.
If I grow up to be this kind of man that the father figure or the man figure that was in my life did this, that's the worth. Then if as a lady, my female figure, mother figure, auntie, or whoever guardian you had as a female figure was doing this and this and that, if I do that, which means that's the value, that's the worth.
That's
I think
true.
also that goes a long way to say what our upbringing shapes what we think of our worth.
Yeah.
But in so doing, also we need to realize that as you grow up, like you were saying, know yourself, define who you are, and not define yourself based on the situation you grew up in.
Yeah.
That's an important thing in my opinion.
That's true, because if you want to have standards, rather, you better be the standard. Simple.
The standard you want to be.
Yeah. Lead by
Exactly.
example. Your personal life and actions should reflect your standards that you expect from others. It's
Yes.
quite simple. If you value honesty, be truthful in your dealings.
Absolutely.
It's quite simple.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. Honor your word. Build that trust with yourself before you can say, I'm going to be in a relationship with my friends. I want to honor. You won't be able to respect others if you don't respect yourself.
Yeah, self-respect.
Yeah.
That's an important thing.
Yeah. I think in closing, we can mention a few factors that you should be aware of. Yeah. I think I wrote them down. Let me look for
Let's hear
some
it.
here. Okay. I'll mention just 2 or 3. Right.
Yeah.
Firstly, you lose value when you're too accessible.
Yeah, anyone can just
Yeah.
have a word in your life, have a say, or just play any kind of part in your life.
I think it also speaks to attending events. You show up to every event that every event that you are invited to. No. Rarity increases worth. So being overly available can make others take you for granted. Value your time and presence to maintain your worth. Please, folks. Please. And then second one. You are allowed to change the price of what it costs to access you.
Very much so.
Yeah.
This is in every kind of relationship, basically. True. Every kind of relationship.
So evolving self-worth. As you grow, reassess what you offer and what you accept in return. I think your time and energy may become more valuable in the sense that you have work commitments, you have your personal life.
Yeah.
In some way or the other, you're going to have to adjust your boundaries as well. So please don't hesitate to redefine how and when people can engage with you based on your needs and priorities.
Also, when it comes to your self-worth, it's okay not to compromise on the set boundaries.
True.
If you constantly have to tell someone, please don't do this, don't do this, and they continuously do it, put an end to it, because you are protecting your self-worth, you're protecting your mental health, you're protecting yourself as an individual, as you have defined yourself to be who you are. So when someone comes with whatever impact or influence they're trying to put on you and you are not for it, put an end to it, because you know your worth. If anything, your worth has to be more in every day.
Yeah, so I think of a situation where someone said if they can't put you down, they have to go up to the standard.
They have to level up to where you are. Level up.
Yeah, I think lastly, I'm a firm believer of if they wanted to, they would. I think intentions matter. People's actions reflect their priorities. If someone values you, they'll make an effort to show it. Yeah. And I wrote again, avoid excuses.
Yeah, please say something on that. But when someone values you, they will?
When someone values you, they will make an effort to show it.
You know, I love that point, because often now and then in relationships, when someone doesn't make time for you, we make excuses for them. You're like, oh
True,
no, they're
yeah.
busy, they'll get back to me. But when they value you, they will make time for you. As much as you know your worth, as much as you value yourself, like, oh, I need to get to work on time.
Yeah.
I need to do this on time, and you will commit to that. So if they value you as much as you say they are, don't make excuses for them.
True.
That's
Avoid
another thing.
I was getting to there. I was going to say
Yeah.
avoid excuses. Stop
Hey.
justifying others' inactions.
If it's wrong, it's wrong.
It's wrong. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we have addressed it all. I think as we come to an end, guys, love yourself and just remember that you are the prize. Always.
You are worth it.
You are
More
worth
than
it.
enough.
So for what it means, stay happy, stay blessed. We love you. See you same time next week. Peace, folks.
Don't forget to comment, subscribe, follow us, and please, those comments, keep them coming. Self-worth. Let us know what you think about self-worth. Let us know what you want to hear from us next. Thank you.
Peace.
Worth it.
Very much so.